panel discussion about education and the importance of education from a creative point of view, from 500Startup. Yiying, have a smile. Yiying Lu. Because, you know why? I have it, and I'm with Lee Kelson to talk about from an old guy's point of view.
Now I'm deeply hurt.
Old points of view with loads of years of experience. That's why when I say old people, because they have loads of experience, I wish you would know them. I love your name. You actually like your name.
Sure. Yiying is my universal name. They're like, what's your English name? It's Yiying. What's your Chinese name? It's Yiying. Yi means happy and Ying means creative. It's actually given by my grandfather.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like happy creative.
Happy creative. I like happy creative.
You have to say it with a smile.
There you go. I wonder, from a point of view, like you were having a heavy discussion. I want to tap into it. Education is important to you, and you don't believe education.
Well, no, I don't think it. No, that's not.
She said deliberately.
Yeah, no, she's framing this up as a debate. No, I guess we're just saying, and probably violently agreeing, really, in some ways. But I guess I was saying that that there's not. If you don't want to go to university, and look, where do you go, right? Where do you legitimise the fact that it's okay to be entrepreneurially spirited? And it's been said, look at young people around here now who haven't taken the traditional path, and they've probably had a bit of resistance from family and friends. And so how do they get on that path? People like we're talking about get a real job. I've still got people saying, when am I going to get a real job?
Whereas you had an education. You're like 4 years of study.
We're having this conversation, rather than conversation, I think not necessarily an argument, because my situation is actually, by nature, I was an international student. I came to Australia when I finished my high school, and I did a 4-year degree at UTS, and I also did a foundation at UNSW. And the nature of this is the international student coming to Australia, we pay 5 times their local students, and we're basically cash cows.
It's one of the biggest industries in Australia.
No, but I think it's a blessing in disguise, because I think I've learned this when I go to America, that a lot of students actually have student loans, so you don't have to pay this until you can pay this, or you can wait until you finish your uni and you get a job, you kind of slowly pay back. I think in a way we're forced to actually pay in front. So I had to really find a way to. I started to do a lot of random jobs in the probably first year. I was doing bilingual interview. I was being a waitress at a sushi restaurant. I learned all the sushis, and also Yum Cha restaurant. I learned all the dumpling names and all that. But I think it's also a great way of learning people skills, and also you get really good work experience. It's marketing. Whether you're B2B or B2C, it's always P2P. It's people to people. So
you like that?
Yeah. So I think it's a good people skill. I think getting a job, whether it's relevant to your expertise or not, it's a great way of one, paying off the education. I do believe that having a combination of traditional education as well as the modern education, which is learning from taking working experience. I think I like to kind of having a bit of both.
You chose at 18 years old. You chose to go on start your own business. What made you want to transition to entrepreneurship?
Well, I made a decision in high school.
Oh wow!
There was no way that I suppose in that way I was a bit of a misfit, because school wasn't for me. I was too busy.
But how did you know that? How did you know that you wanted to run your own business?
Well, I don't know. I was just coming up with ways to make money. So whether it's swapping football trading cards and building that sort of side of the business, or building up old bikes from different parts and then painting them up and then trying to sell them. Lemon stalls at the side of the road, just all that sort of stuff, right? That started for me really early, and I guess I saw the corporate path and went, so is that my choice? Is that what I do? I go and get a university degree and then off onto a corporate path.
Right.
So this was back in the mid-80s, so entrepreneurship was almost like a bad word. Now entrepreneurship's lost its currency because everybody's an entrepreneur. So what does it mean?
The glamour startup world is, I'm a startup. And most people don't even know what startup is.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that a lot of times people associate entrepreneurial spirit people with people are always be a dropout in order to become an entrepreneur. I think that's
not true either.
That's not true, right?
No.
You don't have to.
No. But I think that you do have to have. I think the biggest skill any entrepreneur can have is critical thinking. And I think we're missing this idea that, I think for me it's really simple.
Yeah.
It's looking at problems, small, large. I mean, one of the things I really think we need to be focusing on now is the complex problems, right? And applying our minds to that.
Yeah.
Not some of these little simple, gadgety, gimmicky type happy stuff. But what are some of the really complex problems that we could be putting our mind to and solving? So that needs really solid critical thinking skills. And I think that they come through practical application and experience. I don't see how you can learn that stuff in a classroom or a lecture theatre environment.
Actually, I have a degree in interior design.
Right.
Out of all things, and I realize I'm a good communicator, but it kind of comes thinking in terms of critical thinking. I learned through going to architecture and then being a philosopher. And I realized people don't answer the basic question of why this, what drives you. All those things I had to do afterwards as well. And I think I'm a better student now than I was before. I'll be happy to go back to things because I learned how to framework. I know how to do things. I'm actually, I think I'm a PhD in run a business and do a lot of things because I'm more efficient.
Y'all have fun there?
Definitely think through it. I definitely think drive is important. You just mentioned about drive and critical thinking. When you put it together, I think the sustainability is also important. I remember, sort of circle back to my conversation earlier. You can become an entrepreneur.
Are you having fun?
Entrepreneur, while you're studying at the same time.
You can become an entrepreneur when you're studying at the same time. So I remember when I finished my first year, I decided, I did a deck of playing cards. You can still find them on my website right now. I made a deck of playing cards.
So today
54 cards. And I got a very high score. But I was like, I've got these designs, but I can publish them. I mean, they got a high score, usually people stop it. They're like, okay, I got a high distinction, that's it, I'm done, I got my degree. But what I did was I basically go through the internet and find all the publisher I can, and I contact them by phone and email, one by one. And eventually, one of the biggest playing card publisher in America actually reached out later on and said, hey, we really love your design and we wanted to pay you a lump sum of 10-year license. We'll give you a check. And that basically covers my entire semester. And I was like, that's a win-win situation. I literally just did probably how long, a day of work researching an email. And that actually helped me to cover my motivation. You've got nothing to lose. Especially, you have the resources.
No, I agree. So it's another thing to use. I think, look, I'm certainly not anti the I just think that the education system that we have in this country particularly is leaning so heavily towards this idea that you're going to create architects, engineers, accountants, lawyers, and I see that some of the new technologies that are coming through are going to just take out those industries en masse like we've never seen before in our history. I think that's what we're staring at the barrel of, and I don't think that's anything we should be fearful of. I think if I look at, I've been around the internet since the birth, right? So like I say, I'm an old guy. But what that means is that I was there sort of when the first email was sent to me. I still remember that day where it came through, and I'm like, wow, an email, like this is so cool. Okay, I mean that really dates me, doesn't it? But here's the thing. So then we've seen the evolution of websites and the emergence of proliferation of mobile devices. This whole world has changed since sort of 1992. I think you look at how the education system has changed at the same time.
Right. Has it changed enough?
It hasn't changed. Very incrementally, but very, very little.
Your father, right? Do you worry about the education?
Absolutely. I mean, this is really, I guess if I go to the deep root, the motivation for me is that I see my daughter and I see young people out there, and I'm saying, they've been pushed through an education system that is not built for this new world that we're moving into. And we need to restructure that. We need to look at it. We need to reimagine our education system so that it helps and it works. So I think there's a balance. I'm certainly not an advocate for it's all practical. I think the help of knowledge and this university education that can give you, and other tertiary type of education. But for my mind, nothing replaces the stuff where you go and you get on the phone and you ring 100 people, you get 99 no's, you get one yes, it makes up for all the no's, and then you can move on to the next thing, right? So nothing in a classroom is going to prepare you to make 100 calls
You
and
also
get
have
90.
to take the initiative. I think as educators or as parents, I think it's also very important for you to encourage the next generation. You should take the initiative. And I mean, nobody really teach me how to do that at the time. I kind of self-taught in a way that I feel like this is something I wanted to do. But in the same time, because, you know, sometimes adverse situation actually, you know, pressure creates diamonds, you know, without the pressure. But if you just treat pressure as pressure and kind of complain about it, really is about the attitude. What I love about this event is that this event is kind of never an event. I love the tagline, it's not an event, it's a state of mind. I love the fact that yesterday, literally, we were going through everything together. The cyclone Debbie came over, stopped the show, and had to evacuate everybody from this venue at 3 o'clock. Like it was like the physical manifestation of what a startup life is. Like it's on. It's like cancelled.
That's what happens.
So let's go reiterate. If anything, an entrepreneur's mindset.
Right.
And you have to have resilience to make shit happen.
I think that's true. You know, just sort of picking up on this idea that you just mentioned then, it also comes back down to I'm big on trying to help people understand that this is a lifetime thing. You're going to have businesses that will work, you'll have things that will fail, you'll meet amazing people, you'll do amazing things. It's a legitimate path, but you've got to be on your game.
Yes.
And this is not let's come to party town and be startups and have fun and we're going to all be driving Maseratis. A small percentage of those are going to make the Maserati class. Right? The rest are going to have a good life, but they've got to be on their game. So to be on your game, you really need to be looking at how you live your life, the healthy lifestyle, the people you surround yourself with, the food, the sleeping, and everything needs to come into balance. And I think you'll find that most really successful entrepreneurs have a fair bit of that going on in their game.
And I also think it's amazing to see the supportive energy here. I think it really feels like a married family. When I was on stage, I was looking at the audience. Everybody is like nodding, smiling. Like they're very interactive. And yesterday, when the Cyclone Debbie came, like the founders, the team, the crew, they're all really positive. Like nobody's actually complaining. And all the speakers were also so chill. And also like all the people who are actually the attendees, they went to this smaller art gallery and they did an improv kind of speaking session with the speakers who actually flew 28 hours all the way from Europe to here. They actually did an improv speaking session, and it was one of those moments you realize, like, you know, sometimes really, I love this quote: if you read, you're a reader; if you listen, you're a listener; if you fight, you're a fighter; but if you flow, you're a flower.
You're a flower.
I'm finishing on that note. I love that. All right, thank you so much. Bye, guys. Thank you. Hey.